Hi, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to answer a question that a lot of parents and students have asked me over the years. And the question is a PSAT an important exam? And everybody says, oh, it counts in 11th grade. And then I ask people like, what do you mean it counts? What do you mean by that? Well, I don't know. Everybody just told me it counts in 11th grade. And so I want to explain this and clarify some misconceptions about this test. This is also called the National Merit Scholarship Qualification Test, NMSQT. Okay, so if you see this big abbreviation, you're like, well, what is that? That's what it stands for. And so because it stands for that as well, everybody makes a big deal of it and things like, oh, this is so important that I do well. But let me tell you something. Every year, about 1.5 million juniors take the test. Not just juniors, in a lot of schools, sophomores take them. Sometimes they even have an 8th and 9th grade PSAT as well in some schools. But about 1.5 million juniors take them every year. And out of that huge number, about 50,000 only get recognized, okay, as doing really well. But of the 50,000, only about 7,600 or so actually become National Merit Scholars. They actually are awarded the $2,500 scholarship. Now, you might think $2,500, that's not that much for college, okay? But it's not for college. But so now, percentage-wise, that's less than 1% of 1%. So it is extremely difficult to become a National Merit Scholar. Now, depending on the cutoff scores in each state, you might become a National Merit semifinalist. You might become a finalist even. Maybe you get commended or something like that. But, you know, that still is different than becoming a National Merit Scholar. And so, I've had some incredibly bright and high achieving students in the last 12 or 13 years. And I can tell you, not one of them have become a National Merit Scholar. Some have become finalists, many were semifinalists, but not one was a National Merit Scholar. It's not just getting a high score. You have to get a very, very high score. But in addition to that, you have to write an essay, you have to get letters of recommendation, you have to submit your high school transcripts. There's a whole process to it. And they reward the scholarship to only like under 8,000 students out of 1.4 or 5 million students every year. So the chances of getting this are very, very, very low. Now, it's not important that you get this. Again, dollar-wise, it's only $2,500. But the bigger scholarships come when, if you do become a National Merit Scholar, that means that you did obviously very well in the PSAT. And if you did that well in the PSAT, you probably did very well on the SAT. And if you did that, then, and you have a very good GPA, colleges are more likely to give you big scholarships. And so in that way, it sort of comes into play. But in and of itself, it's not that big of a scholarship. Now, so for students, I just say, look, if you're taking the PSAT, it usually is in October of your junior year. This year, because of the pandemic, I think they delayed it to January. But it's just a test. I just say, just take it as a practice SAT test. And people ask, is it important? Not really. I mean, just take it. It's good practice. You're building your mental stamina, right? You're just sitting there and taking it for a few hours, and it's a little bit easier than the SAT, but you'll get a good feel for what the SAT is like. So I think it's worth taking. I mean, if you can. But if you miss it because you were sick or whatever the reason, or you were on vacation or whatever the thing is, or because of the pandemic you chose not to take it, it's not a big deal. Okay, it's not going to have any bearing on your college admissions. It's just a test. It's a good practice test. I tell kids, take it if you want. Don't make a big deal about it. But it's good practice, so I would take it if I could. But so that's all that is. It's basically, I mean, very similar to the SAT, but some of the sections are a little bit shorter. And the PSAT is a little bit easier than the SAT, but it's a good test to take, okay? But I wouldn't make a big deal about it at all. Just practice. So I hope that helps. I'll end the video here. Thanks for watching, and until my next video, I hope you stay well.